Hey everyone, if you've never played pickleball before, here's everything you need to know. I'm Connor Garnett, world number 3 pickleball player. We're at the PICKLR. Let's go. All right, so now we're gonna go over all the basics of pickleball, the rules, how to play, some of the basic techniques, strategy, and just when you are at the pickleball club, like the PICKLR, how to get in on open play and start making friends. All right, we're gonna go over the general rules of how to play pickleball on the court. Also, we're gonna talk about open play. So anytime there's a court you see open play, you know that you can put your paddles in. We have this paddle up device here. The first 4 paddles, so these 4 paddles with my paddle in, are the next on the court. If these are taken, we'll put them down here. And once the players on the court say court or they wrap up, we'll hop in. It looks like these guys are just finishing up, so we'll hop in for this next round. All right, so now that we're on the pickleball court, we're gonna go over the different lines. So the first line we have is the baseline. This line you have to stand behind when you're serving. In the actual point itself, that line is in. So if the ball lands on that line, the point is still going. We have the sideline, same concept. Lines are in on the outside. We're gonna go to one exception in a little bit here. We also have the middle line here on the serve. If it lands on that line, it is in. The serve is a cross-court shot, so both those lines are in. And then finally, we have the kitchen line. This line is most important because when you're volleying, you can't step on or over this line if you're taking a shot out of the air. Also, on the serve, if the ball lands on this line, the serve is out. All right, so when we're on the court, we're gonna have one team serving. They're gonna serve the ball cross court. They gotta get it behind the kitchen like we talked about before. The kitchen is this light blue area at right around the net. So I've gotta serve this ball cross court. We gotta get the serve. The serve has gotta have an upward motion, and I'm hitting this ball, trying to get a little bit of shape so it goes up and down and land in that court. You can only win points as a team when you're scoring. If you win the point, you switch sides and then continue to serve. As long as you keep winning, you keep serving. If you lose the point, your partner will serve. Each team gets 2 service attempts, and then the other team gets to go. The only exception to that is at the beginning of the game, your team, the starting team serving, only gets 1 serve, just kind of like tennis, where you want to make it equal so you don't get 2 serves to get that unfair advantage to start. So we're starting the game, it's 0-0-2. I'm the second server because we just started the game. This only applies now. Any other change of possession, you come in as the first server. 0-0-2. So because we lost the point, now the other team serves. After the second server, if you lose the point, the other team serves. The score now, Mary will call out, is 0-0-1. That 1 is the first server. All right, so we won the point. We weren't serving, so still 0 points. Now they go to their second server, 0-0-2. A friendly paddle tap is sometimes just a fun way after you win a point to congratulate your partner. All right, so they didn't score any points on their serve. We're serving again. I'm coming in as our first server at 0-0-1. Now that we've won the point as the serving team, I'm gonna move to the other side so we have 1 point. it's 1-0. I'm still the first server, so it's 1-0-1. 1-0-1. Out. All right, we won that point again, so now it's 2-0-1. I'm gonna move to the other side again. It's important to make your out calls loud and clear so that the other team knows when they've missed their shot. A good way to signal is with your finger up or a verbal out. 2-0-1. All right, so since I was the first server, we go to the second server. We don't move to the other side because we lost the point, so it's 2-0-2. All right, they won that point again. They don't get a point because they weren't serving, but because we were the second server, now it's their serve at 0-2-1 because Mary's the first server. Now that we've covered how to keep score, the goal is it's the first team to get to 11. You have to win by 2 points, and in tournaments, you're trying to win best 2 out of 3 of these games to 11. Really quick, I wanted to mention that my Home for Pickleball training, the PICKLR, is offering a 30-day trial for only $30. It gets you an unlimited membership. In that, it includes unlimited pickleball, free tournaments, leagues, and more. Get in on the action. Hope to see you on the courts. All right, so the first rule we're gonna go over is how to get the point started. We're talking about the serve. You have to serve cross court into that dark blue box. So that kitchen line and behind, you have to serve it into. Now the one weird thing about this is that kitchen line, just for the serve, that line is out. So you have to get it behind that line. The other thing you have to do is hit up on this serve. You have to release it down and hit up through the ball. So that was a bad example for 2 reasons. The 2 reasons were I did not go up through that ball, I hit it way up here, and that ball landed short in the kitchen. So what I wanna do is let this ball drop and hit up through it so it lands past that kitchen. All right, now we've gotten the point started. The next rule is, as the serving team, you serve, that's the first shot. They hit the return, that's the second shot. The third shot, you have to let bounce before you can hit it. You can't hit it out of the air. So that is what you can't do. You gotta let that third ball bounce. She took that out of the air, we would lose that point. And boom, now we've gotten the point started after the first 3 shots. The only other thing we're gonna add now is this kitchen. So this light blue area, we cannot hit any volleys and have our feet in this area. So we also call this the non-volley zone. So if you are gonna take the ball out of the air after that third shot, you have to be standing behind this area. So there, my foot is in the kitchen. We would lose that point. If I want to take it out of the air, I have to be behind this line. I can, however, step in if the ball bounces. So there I stepped in, but because the ball bounced, we were fine. All right, so now that you guys are up and running with the general rules and the scoring, we're gonna talk to you a little bit about the technique of the game. We're gonna go through the 3 most important things I find, which are the kinetic chain, utilizing the legs, hips, and core for power. A lot of times people think it's using a ton of arm. We're gonna curb that. We're gonna use this for the power. We're gonna keep short swings so the ball is out in front and we're just going through it. There's not a lot of wrist. We're using that kinetic chain we talked about earlier. And then thirdly, not rushing. A lot of times people try and rush this ball, let it come onto your paddle, let the ball come to you, and just punch that ball back, whether it's a volley, whether it's a drop. The shorter these swings are, the more we can engage these bigger muscles, including the kinetic chain, the better off we're gonna be. A great drill for this is, I have Cheyenne over here, we're gonna work on our kinetic chain, we're gonna put our hands out, and we're gonna start pressing, and this kind of cues in this area here. That's where our power wants to come from, not from the arm. So if you're warming up and you're waiting for a court, do that one. That can kind of start to get your mind thinking of where that power comes from. So see there, I rushed that ball. I didn't let it come onto my paddle. I was taking it on the rise with a really big backswing there. I want to give myself a little bit more time, keep that swing compact, and stay low through it. Another thing I've said in some of my videos is, if you can balance a cup of water on your head throughout the whole motion, that usually means you've done a good job with all these things. Now we've got up to the kitchen line. Now the next step is working on our volleys and dinking. So the big things here are keeping that dink out in front of us, and when we're volleying, if it's a backhand, leading with the knuckles, not breaking the wrist, and on the forehand, leading with the palm. So the more we can keep these compact and just punch through it, or compact and just go up through it with a little bit of brush, side spin, or flat, the better off we're gonna be. All right, so we're dinking, we're keeping it out in front of us. Not too big of a swing. And when we need to, we can take it out of the air. Also, when we're in volleys, now we're talking about short swings, keeping it compact, not taking too big of a swing, because that leads us to miss that ball. Now that you know the basics of how to play, get out on the pickleball court. It's super important to make sure you're playing with people around your same level so you can have the best games possible. I usually play at the PICKLRs in Utah, so if you want to come challenge me on the court, throw your paddle in on a court that I'm playing on, and we'll get in on the action. Also, the final thing, if you're trying to get out on the pickleball court and don't know what gear to get, ProXR, they have my paddles there. ConnorGarnett.com has my paddle. It has some of my other clothes, grips, all of that stuff. Zaya Active is my clothing sponsor. You can get gear there. But the most important thing is, as long as you have pickleball shoes and a paddle, you can get out on the court and get in on the action right away. Thank you to Zaya Active and the PICKLR for sponsoring this video. Also, check out below for all my sponsor links to get the latest discounts. If there's anything that you want to touch on basics of how to play and get out on the court, comment that below. Make sure to like and subscribe for all the bi-weekly videos that we're dropping. Tui Nation, out.